had a green light. My bicycle was in a crosswalk at the time, so we were proceeding in the crosswalk. Several cars were already stopped waiting since they had the red light on the right. And a gentleman came up the off-ramp into the open lane, his open lane, to turn left, didn't stop at the stoplight, went through the stoplight, hit me broadside. I was projected about 50 feet across the road on Chandler Boulevard. His car continued to spin, eventually hitting a traffic signal in the middle of Chandler Boulevard, knocking it over, came to rest next to me. My body was in an unusual position. My bone in my leg was sticking out. Then they heard me moan and they realized I was alive. I ended up with 23 broken bones, severe internal injuries, including the vein to my heart was torn open. The impact of my head on the ground eventually ended my legal career. Was never able to return back to the career that I had been building for 26 years. Spent a month in the hospital. Came home in a wheelchair. I realized I was very, very blessed, in comparison to, what other people have gone through. It's just incredible that this is really a miracle that is essentially in one piece.
I got involved as a result of an accident. First, a woman who was hit from behind, left to die, presumably. She was hit and run. And as a result of that accident, I had previously been engaged in some cycling advocacy because a previous rider of mine was actually hit from behind and killed. And at the time this occurred, it just kind of hit a fervor with me personally, that something has to be done with this. And I reached out to try to find out who this woman was. As a result of that, I came in contact with Dara Schulenberg, and the two of us reached out to help this woman. And as a result of that, we founded this organization affectionately known as Not One More Cyclist Foundation.
I've been a rider most of my life. Moved from California in the late 1990s, and of course was attracted to this area of East Mesa because of the beautiful riding conditions, being able to have wide bike lanes and have beautiful mountain views and not very much traffic, especially at that time. So began to ride more and was in fact riding in my own neighborhood when I was hit in 2005. So just a very ordinary day. It was a weekday, middle of the morning. I was doing everything right in terms of wearing visible clothing, riding with a group, acting as a vehicle on the road, doing everything I should, and unfortunately just got caught by a distracted driver who was talking on her cell phone and took a left turn into me.
40 years ago, it would be rare to see a lot of adults cycling in this area. Now there's more and more because people, at least some people in our population, want to do something for their health, like to be outdoors, like to be active, and riding a bike, you learn it as a kid, you kind of forget sometimes if you get away from it, but if you get back to it as an adult, you realize it's really a magical thing. I suggest that you shouldn't ever do anything on your bike that you wouldn't do in a car. Don't ride down the wrong way on a street. Don't roll through the stop signs. Don't be unaware of your surroundings and hog up a lane when it impedes traffic. Because you're trying to share the road with people and be a good citizen with people.
Cycling safety is really multifaceted. There's no single one thing that can be done to correct the issue and concern we have about safety on our roadways. It's absolutely got to be a collaborative solution that includes police officers, it includes municipalities, it includes Department of Transportation and ensuring that we have the right infrastructure in place. It also includes public safety and just awareness within the community of how to share the road. So that's something like it's being added to driver's education, not just as one line in the manual, but actually an active part of the driver's test as well. It's riding in small groups where you have a greater chance of being seen on the roadways, being selective about where you ride, making sure there are bike lanes wherever possible, making sure that you're riding at appropriate speeds and that you yourself are following all roadway requirements. So that means stopping at red lights, that means stopping at stop signs before turning. So we as cyclists have responsibilities as well.
The other thing which I think should concern everybody who drives or whatever is I think we have more and more distracted
drivers. So putting down our cell phones, not messing with our GPS while we're driving, for example, that can wait because those people riding, they're riding home to families, they're riding to jobs, they have places to be, and instead of being seen as an impediment to your traffic or your commute, we just ask to be seen as people who have the same roles and rights and responsibilities that you do as a driver.